All right. Oh, what's going on? Happy Friday, everyone. What I'm going to talk about today is the fractal I'm seeing, why there's a big target on it, and then possible other outcomes, and most importantly the fractal, because we were due for a short squeeze and it had started happening, and then we saw this pullback, and it wasn't just a pullback, it was a knife, right? BTC dropped from 73, 74 all the way down back to 61, and that kind of diluted everybody's confidence. Everyone that was bullish was just like, oh my god, this is over. It's a dead cat, where it's not going anywhere. And then that's where the fractal hunting started, right? I was chatting with one of our analysts and we were on this really long call, and he wouldn't let me off of it until I told him where I think price was going to end up. And that's when BTC was still at like 71, 69 range. And I'm like, let's do a deep dive. So we started diving into moving averages, and I applied some like a 50, a 75, 125, 150, 175, a 200. And we started looking at various time frames, and this is what I saw on the 12-hour, where we'd seen these rallies and price break above our long-term moving average, but all the other moving averages were not ready for a clear break, right? Because they were still below the long-term MA. And I think this price action is to somewhat smoothen that out. If you take a close look, is this only visible or mostly visible on the 12-hour, the 720, where we see them attempting to flip, right? A flip to the upside can essentially start the next big leg up. We haven't seen MAs break to the downside. We haven't seen death crosses on BTC in a very long time. And this is a really interesting point in time. Yesterday during the power hour, the live stream, I think BTC was still at like 62.95, 6,300. And my closing thoughts were, I want to see price get back to 6,400. And why 6,400 is so important? Well, that's where our 23.6 Fibonacci level is. Based on the previous fractal, this fractal up here was the big short squeeze from April. This is what the market had to do to get the equilibrium and be able to squeeze shorts all the way up to the 1.618 fib. So BTC went from 6,800 to 81, 84, right? And then like one day, this was a big massive candle up, and it really set us into a nice sustainable rally. And what we're seeing is this kind of a fulcrum bottom. That's what Peter Brandt referred to it. I split it up into 6 phases, right? So you got a phase 1, a phase 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. When I saw this knife happen a few days ago, and we saw BTC come down, and we lined up this fractal, I told Blender, I'm like, hey, 6,400 is where we're gonna end up today. That's where price needs to go for this to be even valid. And that's why I'm still of the pretense that we need to get back to 6,400, and that's just based on the fib levels. And sure enough, last night I get off the live stream and we're back up to 6,400, and the fractal is really almost completing itself, right? Where we have phase 1 from a swing low to our initial peak, and then a pullback for a higher low. Here we see a pullback for a higher low. And then the initial channel 1, C1 goes, it's a channel, form of a rising wedge, forms a lower high than the initial peak. And we saw the exact same thing happen. Now when this phase 4 kicked in, that's what told me, hey, we've seen this formation before. We've seen this play happen before. And we might be seeing the same play unfold. And the fact that we saw this price action go up, currently above our 23.6 fib, I really want to see this fractal continue to the upside. We want to see it come up to 7,026. The reason we're going a little lower than that fib level is just because it almost has to coincide with these last 2 peaks. So I want to see a break above the 50% fib. We might not get the 61.8, right? Because I mean, there's a lot more selling pressure. Even, you know, crypto Twitter went from extremely bullish to very severely bearish. Everybody was quiet and crushed on this way down. They almost didn't believe their eyes. But I mean, you'd almost expect that, because there was a divergence. There was a divergence here, and it was a rising wedge, and it was due a pullback no matter what. Our margin traders, we actually shorted that divergence. We had short there, and we did fairly well, right? We shorted 73, started profit taking for about 800% plus is 63, and then we shorted 65 to 61, and started longing 61. Let me see if you guys have any questions, any comments. What's going on, Matt? 64.74. I'm not sure if I follow you, sorry, I'm just not catching up with comments. So if you want to read the article on the fractal, there's a link, the video description. It's up on Medium. What I'm expecting to see now, right? Almost highlighted it. So we want to see price action go up and hit that 7,000 range just to line up with the previous highs, and that would really confirm what I'm seeing in the fractal itself. If we were to like do a percent completion, we've got 4 phases complete. We're starting to trend up for this channel in phase 5. So that is a good thing. So, you know, 4 out of 6, we're like a 60-70% completion, and that makes me bullish, right? You might say I'm a perma bull, but guess what? We've had 3 higher lows, and that's just how this fractal works. We've had the yearly low, and we haven't been able to buy it again. We haven't been able to buy that yearly low again at 58. So if one's like, hey, I'm gonna long the yearly low, well, we longed it once, you can't long it here, we can't long it here. If you go in a smaller time frame, we're really just getting these higher lows, and there's just nothing else that can be said, right? And interestingly, we didn't even bounce off that trend line, so this is somewhat of like an we can say the trend is getting faster to the upside, but it's also getting faster to the downside. So something volatile has to happen at the end. And just based on the nature of this fractal, if we get this play and it all plays out, we're looking at a bounce to 7K, a drop back to 67, 68, and if we go to the previous target of a 1.618, right, we're looking at $10,100, and that would be the initial target post fractal. But on the intraday, what am I seeing here? Well, we're seeing a lot of bull volume come in. We saw severe stop loss hunting past few days. All these wicks down, right? They just completely obliterated everybody with a stop loss that was too tight. I got stopped out so many times, and it was frustrating, and it decreased my confidence in the trade, but I just kept hopping back in because of the formation, because how strong I believe in it. 7100 next milestone. Are we almost waiting for the tumble again? I almost don't see a tumble coming, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a bearish scenario. We can go into that, but another thing that's kind of increasing my confidence, and I tweeted about this today. This last swing up, right? Let's go ahead and measure it. Let's look at the yellow line, which is our BTC longs. I'm gonna hide the red one. So we've got our yellow line, and it's just now starting to go up, and these are leveraged longs. So in turn, let me get my measuring stick out. All right, so we want to see this go from here, from that last low, or from the last range high up. You know, there's a 15% price hike, and even if we were to equate all this price action as well, 24% price hike while leveraged longs, right? We're gonna start here. We're decreasing. So that tells me that all that buying was spot, right? We had a big decrease in longs on leverage, almost a 30% decrease in longs on leverage. That was all spot buying. Spot buying means cash buying, and we've got longs coming in the market buying in cash and not leveraging, while shorts are piling up. And just now, past few days, we're starting to see longs start build their positions, and shorts are building their positions again. If you go back to my fractal analysis and why we're seeing this, it's just, the nitty gritty. I expect to see shorts even go up to a new all-time high while we complete this C2 channel. When we break this bearish momentum is this fractal, because this is what it took last time to set us in a true rally, right? As for the exact date, I had some probably like towards the end of the month, and don't quote me on that. That's just based on fib time zones that I had laid out on the fractal. Come on. So I just wanted to update this. Intraday, what are we looking at? Well, I was chatting up with our team and on Discord, and we're looking for this range high, right? And if we don't get a breakout above this range high, it'd probably be a good idea to start hedging here and protect ourselves in case this all goes south. I'm not seeing this wanting to go south, but that's one thing we do. The way we trade with futures, we try to cover our butts. We have beliefs, we have analysis, we also have a system that makes sure we're in profits no matter what the chart does. So personally, I've been long since the high 61 since I got stopped out a few times, and I'm looking at almost start hedging up here in the 6,500 range just in case we get a drop. And this doesn't play out and we do go bearish again. But I really think bears have given it their all. We've seen them go up to all-time high and not able to push the price lower. That is a selling climax. This was a selling climax, right? And once we have a selling climax, that's when the chart starts rallying again. What we're seeing here is accumulation in this really nice low range. Almost anything below 68 has been accumulation. And I'm really looking for a break of 65. I think this time around, if we break 65 to the upside, go in a channel, it's going to be harder to get 65 again. And that's just based on the 2014 fractal. Anyone have questions on this fractal, on this compound fulcrum? Here it is, just lined up with the previous one. And in terms of magnitude, this one is taking a whole lot longer to develop with a whole lot more magnitude, right? I mean, so far we've had a high of a 46%, and from just for phase one, right? Just phase one. How many days was that? 24 days. Let's take this past previous swing low. So we're looking at 30 days, 44% on phase one, when previously our previous phase one was 2 days and 16%. So in terms of magnitude, this one can be a lot more relevant because it's taking more time to develop. It's more violent swings, and yeah. So anyways, it's not quite, financial advice. This is how I'm trading the market. This is how I'm viewing things right now. And this is how I'm planning to protect myself and the precautions we're taking and our expectations. You guys want to hit me with some questions? Strictly BTC. I'm not taking any alt requests. Nope, not quite. All right, well, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to get on Medium, read this analysis, and read the phases, read why I'm seeing what I'm seeing. I've tried to explain it to the best of my capabilities here, and read the nitty-gritty part, why we believe this is happening. If you guys want to hop on Discord and join us in our trading, we've been doing really well with these swings. I've got some gains posted. We longed that 6,048 right when I posted the trading idea for the short squeeze, and then we shorted the 73.69 for over 800% returns. So if you guys want to get in, on our Discord, keep up with how we're doing what we're doing in real time, trade alongside, and be able to cover and hedge and do things, navigate properly, we're there. And there's a link to that on our Facebook video, and then if you're on YouTube, just get on our site and you'll be able to get to it. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I really hope this what we're seeing, this price action, can sustain. We did see quite a bit of volume come in. I'd like to see these moving averages start getting back to the upside, right? That's when things get really good. And one reason we haven't been able to sustain these rallies is just such big of a spread between these MAs. If we look at, the 75, the 150 to the 200, it was such a big spread, and the 150 was still headed down. And now we're starting to see things smoothen out and them almost vortex and flip to the upside. So we're at a really interesting point in time. A lot of people are wore out. ETH capitulated. We haven't quite seen capitulation on BTC, but every time it gets to these lows, it gets picked back up on good volume, right? And it goes on these rallies, and then we dip right back down, whether it's FUD or divergence. It's irrelevant, but it's happening, and the fact that it's happening and we're able to catch it makes us really profitable, right? So from a holder's perspective, it's been a nightmare. If you're a trader and you've been doing things the right way, you've done really well. I think I'm going to wrap it up with that. You bet, Frank. Thank you guys for tuning in. Click like on this video, right? Subscribe, hit the bell, share it with some friends. I'm about to send it out to our community and such. I'll catch you guys on Discord. And yeah, feel free to hop on. Everybody have a great weekend.